Honestly, I'm angry, frustrated, depressed.
A Central Kentucky community is grieving after a devastating fire kills 3 people and sends 6 others to the hospital.
We're seeing video for the first time after a man barricaded himself inside a Lexington liquor store.
This is WKYT News at Noon.
Good afternoon. From WKYT News, I'm Barbara Bailey.
I'm Bill Bryant. Here's what's happening at noon. Investigators are right now trying to figure out the cause of a tragic overnight fire in Clark County. It killed 3 people and injured several others.
That fire broke out around 1:30 this morning at an apartment building on Spring Mist Lane. That's off Wynn Avenue in Winchester. WKYT's Mark Barber has been live at the scene all morning long, tracking the very latest developments. It's our top story at noon.
Good afternoon, Barbara. While the fire has been out for hours, the pain is still very raw for those people who lost friends in this fire. The building that was destroyed by the fire housed 10 apartments. 3 people, each of them in different apartments, were all killed by the fire. Now 6 other people are in the hospital. While firefighters do not know how many of those 6 people have serious injuries, we have learned that several of them are fighting for their lives. When flames started ripping through the apartments on Spring Mist Lane around 1:30 this morning, several people escaped by jumping from their second-floor windows, breaking their legs and arms in the fall. We're told one of them was an older woman. Her friends tell WKYT that she died at the hospital. We are waiting to name the 3 people who died because the coroner is still trying to reach their families. Firefighters hope to figure out what sparked this tragedy this afternoon. While the fire is still under investigation, several neighbors are blaming the fire on a man who they say was smoking next to his oxygen tank. Many survivors tell us that they would not have made it out if their neighbors, like Johnny Hill, didn't wake them up by yelling and pounding on their doors.
I didn't care about my safety, as long as everybody else was out of here and, out in the parking lot away from the smoke and away from the fire. And as long as the kids was out safe, that's all I was concerned about last night.
One of those children that Hill was talking about is right here in this picture. You can see her father holding on very tightly to his little 1-year-old daughter. Now, that mother of that child tells me that she was burned on her neck and her back and had just been released from the hospital when we took that photo. They say she is expected to recover. For now, they're at a hotel provided to them by the Red Cross, and they say they're just trying to figure out where they can go from here. Live in Winchester, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you. About 20 people lived in the burned apartment building. The Red Cross is giving them a place to stay at the Best Western on West Lexington Avenue.
Well, our thoughts continue to be with those on this very difficult day over there in Winchester, and we are getting a look now at exactly what happened inside a Lexington liquor store when an employee was forced to hide in a cooler from an armed man. 2 employees were inside the corner liquor store on Georgetown Street Wednesday night when a man who police say was trying to get away from them suddenly came inside. WKYT's Caitlin Sentner shows us how things quickly took a very frightening turn.
Owner of Corner Liquor Store in Lexington says in his 30 years here, he's never seen anything like the events that unfolded Wednesday night into Thursday morning. A customer was inside the store with 2 employees when they noticed commotion outside and tried to keep anyone else from getting inside the store. But 27-year-old Timothy Wade made his way in and jumped over the counter. You can see police on his tail end entering the store, but then they exit. One employee was able to make it out of the store through the drive-through window. The other hid in the walk-in cooler for a number of hours while Wade paced back and forth holding a handgun he grabbed from behind the counter. Owner of the store, Patrick O'Neill, saw every bit of it unfold on his cell phone. He was able to tell police exactly where the suspect was at all times.
This takes the cake. I've never seen anything quite like this. Again, wrong place, wrong time, just one of those things. The store is typically, uneventful, very safe place. But this night, at this time, this guy just decided to get and pursued by the police, decided to stop here, and I don't know why he made that decision.
O'Neill says he's thanking God this week that all of his employees are okay. And in Lexington, Caitlin Setner, WKYT.
Now, Wade was inside the liquor store for a total of 7 hours. He is now behind bars and facing more than 20 charges, including wanton endangerment, burglary, fleeing and evading police, and possession of a handgun by a convicted felon.
Well, it's a mostly cloudy day here in the Bluegrass, but temperatures remain mild as we head towards the weekend. It'll climb back into the 70s tomorrow, but storm chances will be also on the increase. WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris is live in our First Alert Weather Center now with a look ahead.
Yeah, not the best looking day like you were talking about, but you know what? It doesn't feel that bad outside, so it's kind of give and take today. We get into the temperatures. We are there in the mid to upper 50s for the most part. Still 60s as that coolest air did not make its way all the way through down south and southeastern Kentucky. Nonetheless, you guys will be in the mid to upper 60s down far south and southeast. The rest of us in the lower 60s with a mostly cloudy day. Now, the rain does increase for the weekend, but there will be some dry slots. I'm going to show you those dry slots when I expect those, and also that'll help you make some plans for the weekend. That's coming up.
Okay, thank you. And a lot of folks have plans to watch a big ball game tonight, right?
Quite a few, yes.
Let the madness begin. The Big Blue Nation is ready for the basketball Cats to tip things off the postseason tonight.
Kentucky takes on Alabama in the quarterfinals of the SEC tournament in Nashville. WKYT's Dave Baker and Jennifer Palumbo are live outside Bridgestone Arena, the center of all the excitement. How about it, guys?
Hey, tell Captain Weather we got an eyewitness report for him.
That's right.
The showers are here.
It is, you know, Coach John Calipari's talked about the blue mist that follows the Kentucky team wherever it goes.
Exactly.
We've got the mist right now. It's falling here outside Bridgestone Arena.
It really is. It's a overcast day, but everybody coming in and getting ready to go as the Cats get ready to go tonight in search of their 41st. They've got a share of their 41st SEC regular season championship. Nobody's had the kind of success that they have had in the regular season, and now they've got something to play for. They've got a chance to improve their NCAA position. The Cats won a share of their 47th SEC regular season championship, but Texas A&M had the tiebreaker. So Kentucky comes into the league's postseason party as the number 2 seed. Tonight they take on an Alabama team playing for its postseason life. John Calipari believes his club's journey has got them ready for this challenge, but he knows when you get to the postseason, the first game is often the toughest.
The hard thing about the first game, Alabama, Mississippi, both really good teams. The hard thing becomes that they've played and they've got momentum, and you're walking in not knowing, and you had to lay around all day. The hardest game is the first game. After that, you can still lose, but the hardest game is playing that first one when they have already played a game.
And it really is difficult, Jen, in terms of getting that first game under the belt, but fans don't have that problem, though, do they?
No, they absolutely do
They're
not.
ready from the get-go.
That's, you know, and game day started early for a lot of fans here in Nashville. Some of them are enjoying SEC Fanfare, which is across the street from us on Broadway, and then others are heading into Bridgestone Arena to check out this Texas A&M Florida game that is about to start. Hundreds of UK fans packed Tin Roof on Broadway this morning to be part of Kentucky Sports Radio's live broadcast. It's a sea of blue and white everywhere you go, and fans are fired up for tonight's game and feeling good about the Cats' chances.
Oh, it's amazing. Every year we try to come here and be like the first ones in the door. But today we wasn't the first ones, but it's always amazing to be here. And the Big Blue Nation is always invading here, and it's amazing.
Walter Taylor from Lexington is one of the lucky ones. He has tickets to tonight's game, but many others will be cheering from bars and restaurants. They say they just want to be part of this SEC tournament excitement. And Dave Baker, we are counting down to tip-off here in Nashville.
It should be interesting. It'll be the Cats in Alabama tonight at 7 o'clock. We get things going here in just a little bit. Be interesting as Texas A&M, first game of the day against Florida. Florida playing for its postseason life, much like Alabama. The only other big question down here is everybody wants to know what Bill Bryant's pick is. I know you've been inundated with it, and so have I.
Yes,
and we'll talk about that a little bit later.
My pick is cloudy with a chance of rain.
It's more than a chance. We'll talk more about this matchup here from John Calipari and Avery Johnson coming up in sports a little bit later, guys.
All right, have fun there. Kentucky has won 29 SEC tournament championships, more than all the other teams in the league combined.
I'll pick Kentucky to bring a trophy home this weekend, right? Well, the Republican presidential candidates faced off in a low-key debate in Florida, and now Donald Trump has picked up a big endorsement from a former rival. We'll have the latest from the campaign trail.
Also ahead, President Obama and the First Lady host a star-studded affair at the White House. We'll tell you who came out for the Canadian State Dinner next on WKYT.
I've covered thousands of games over decades. You think you can beat me? Come on.
Challenge Dave Baker and make your picks to play the Hoops Hysteria Tournament Pick'em game on WKYT.com. Enter now for your chance to win a 65-inch LG 4K Smart TV. For official rules, visit WKYT.com and click on the Contest tab. Must be 18 years old to enter and live in the WKYT viewing area. Hoops Hysteria. Brought to you by Paul Miller Ford, Bluegrass Home Entertainment, Central Bank, and Arby's.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. I've been asked thousands of times why I chose the phrase "for the people" for my firm slogan. It's not only our branding statement, but our mission statement as well. For many years, almost 30 now, you've trusted us to try and get you justice for you and your family at a most difficult time. An accident can suddenly change our lives forever. And if it does, we're here for you. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Enjoy 0% financing for 5 years and free TVs with your qualifying purchase at Sleep Outfitters. Get this Sealy Pillow Top Queen Set with gel foam on sale now for just $4.99 plus a free TV. Save up to 50% off Tempur-Pedic floor models. You heard right, up to half off Tempur-Pedic while supplies last. 0% financing for 5 years, free TVs, store-wide savings, and up to 50% off Tempur-Pedic floor models. Only at Sleep Outfitters.
It's that time of year, our annual Bracket Buster event at Adams Buick GMC Truck in Richmond, and we're slamming the competition. Get a new GMC Sierra for just $19,995. Save $8,000. Drive a new GMC Canyon, $299 a month. Save $5,100 on a new GMC Acadia, or save over $11,000 on a new Sierra 4x4. Plus, get the Adams Advantage, a limited lifetime powertrain warranty. Our annual Bracket Buster event is on at Adams Buick GMC Truck in Richmond, where
Sid says sell them.
Welcome to Carpet One. Visit our area rug showroom featuring 400 room-size area rugs. While you're here, check out our in-stock rolls and ribbons and save over 50% off carpet and vinyl. Carpet One has it all, and we have it in stock. Come see us.
Everyone is singing praises about essential oils and trying to make their home free of toxic chemicals. Get the facts yourself and learn how Young Living essential oils can help support your family's health and well-being. Visit justonedrop.com for more information and local classes.
Welcome back to WKYT News at noon. The GOP frontrunner is picking up an endorsement today from a former rival in the campaign.
And just about everyone is reflecting on the kinder, gentler Republican debate from Thursday night. Craig Boswell has more now from the White House.
Dr. Ben Carson endorsed Donald Trump during a news conference in Florida Friday morning.
It's such an honor to have Ben. He's a friend. He's become a friend, and I really appreciate the endorsement, Ben. Thank you.
Carson says he was able to get over Trump's attacks against him during his campaign because he's gotten to know the other Donald Trump.
There are two different Donald Trumps. There's the one you see on the stage, and there's the one who's very cerebral.
Perhaps it was the more cerebral Trump who showed up at last night's debate, which focused more on policy and left out the usual personal attacks.
Last night's debate was fun. It was different. It got wonderful. There were a lot of good feelings in that room.
The biggest policy difference during the night came when Trump claimed Social Security is fine as it stands as long as we get rid of the fraudulent cases.
Fraud is not enough. Certainly, let's wipe out the fraud. But as you said, it won't add up. You already gave those numbers.
But the answer can't just be wave a magic wand and say, problem, go away.
This is not a theory. Do you have to take on entitlement programs to balance a budget? Yes, but doesn't mean you have to cut them.
It remains to be seen if the good feelings in the debate will continue as the candidates hit the campaign trail ahead of Tuesday's primaries. Craig Boswell, CBS News, the White House.
Florida, Ohio, North Carolina, Illinois, and Missouri all vote next Tuesday, and it's winner take all in the delegate race on the Republican side. Florida is the biggest prize with 99 delegates.
A final farewell today for former First Lady Nancy Reagan. A private funeral is being held at the Reagan National Library in Simi Valley, California this afternoon. 4 of the 5 living First Ladies, including Michelle Obama and Hillary Clinton, are expected to attend, along with relatives of every president, dating all the way back to John F. Kennedy. Mrs. Reagan's 2 children will be speaking at the service. She died earlier this week of congestive heart failure. Nancy Reagan was 94 years old. President Obama is spending his day at an annual tech festival in Austin, Texas. The president is expected to deliver the keynote address at South by Southwest Interactive, the first sitting U.S. president to do that. He also plans to talk with the CEO and editor-in-chief of the Texas Tribune about how his administration is using technology to try to improve people's lives. Well, a formal affair for celebrities and people of state in Washington, D.C. last night.
President Obama and the First Lady hosted a state dinner at the White House for Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and his wife. Politicians and entertainers showed up in full force for the event, including Canadians Michael J. Fox, Mike Myers, Ryan Reynolds and his wife Blake Lively. Saturday Night Live producer Lorne Michaels and House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi were also on hand. This is the first official visit by a Canadian leader in nearly 20 years.
I'm Mike Byer in Lexington, where a judge has taken the death penalty off the table for a man accused of murder.
People know Window World as home of the original 189 window.
But that's just the beginning. We install siding too.
Our siding comes with energy-efficient, form-fitted foam.
Guaranteed for life.
Window World, simply the best siding for less.
It's Furniture World Superstore's biggest tax refund sale ever. Now's a great time to redecorate your home because Furniture World stretches your tax refund with huge savings store-wide, plus 2 years interest-free. Now at Furniture World, use your tax refund to refurnish your living room or dining room, update your bedroom, sleep better on a comfortable new mattress. We're serious about saving you big money. Get huge tax refund savings, plus it's interest-free for 2 full years. So hurry in and save during our biggest tax refund sale ever. Now at all 5 Furniture World Superstore locations.
I was scared to go back to the dentist because I hadn't been in for a while. But they cut me some slack when they saw all this plaque, and they didn't make fun of my smile. I don't have insurance, but they didn't mind, which I thought was a setup for robbing me blind. But I financed my teeth, this toothpaste was free, and the numbing stuff really worked wonders on me.
No insurance? With a free new patient exam and x-rays, plus extended financing available, dentistry's never been easier. Call 1-800-ASPEN Dental.
Celebrate your birthday at the Explorium. Packages include a private party room and admission to all of the hands-on exhibits. Visit theexplorium.com to find out more.
Well, I hope we have a buyer for the house.
Me too. What are the neighbors doing here?
Bill! Hey! Come in! I didn't know your home Wi-Fi could stream so many devices at the same time.
Dad, it's Time Warner Cable Internet. Crazy fast.
Dad, you can get Wi-Fi all over this place.
Cool.
Make your home as connected as possible. Get internet with unlimited data starting at $14.99 per month and ask about free installation. Call 1-855-1TWC.
In 1934, Steak and Shake decided the world didn't need another hamburger. It needed a steak burger. So they used 100% beef. Quick sear to seal in the flavor you'll only get from a steak burger. Steak and Shake, home of the original steak burger.
I'm WKYT Sam Dick, and I stand for Kentucky.
At Window World, you get the best price right up front
Our windows feature the Good Housekeeping seal.
and come with a lifetime limited warranty.
Act now and get a house full of windows for as low as $79 a month installed.
Window World, simply the best for less.
Stay connected to the news that matters to you. WKYT. Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
You know, it looks like it can rain on us at any time outside. It doesn't look like a good day. Let me throw satellite on here and show you something that may not make a lot of us happy. I've had a couple of questions on Twitter, Micah Harris WX. You can check me out, follow me. I'll follow you back. Why not? You know, it kind of goes both ways with that. But the thing is, are we going to see any sunshine today? The problem is I don't see any weak spots in this cloud cover. You can see up toward the far north, there's some weak spots here and there, and that's where you see kind of the darker shade instead of the bright whites that you're seeing all across the region. So the problem is there's just a thick cloud deck overhead. We will get some breaks here and there, but for the most part, what you see outside right now is what you're basically going to get. But the good news here is don't expect any rain to fall out of those clouds. We stay dry the rest of the afternoon. Temperatures are there in the 50s now. Some 60s still far south and southeast just because that coolest air did not make its way all the way down through. So just expect, remember, a warm front is tomorrow. So these temperatures are relatively cool, considering where we have been the past few days. But you go into it tomorrow, and it jumps right back up, because here comes a warm front that's going to be passing over us. Mostly cloudy skies the rest of the day, 60s for highs. Looks good. No problems whatsoever. We head toward tomorrow. A lot of things going on. We got many events going on downtown in Lexington with St. Patty's Day festivities and also the parade. Parade's at 1 p.m. Before that, we got the Shamrock Shuffle. Don't forget that during the morning and afternoon, we will have, as that front rolls north of us, it's going to come through us from the south. That's your warm front. Temperatures will be amazing. Low to mid 70s. You'll love it. But you're going to have a passing shower or thunderstorm. Now, it's not a washout. There will be dry slots. So I would say go and do whatever you have going on, because you will have more dry slots than you will have rain rolling over you. Sunday, there you go, showers and storms. Sunday's going to be the day that you do have widespread rain in the forecast. Here's your 7-day and what it looks like. Don't forget, you got to set your clocks forward tomorrow night into early Sunday morning. And not only that, we throw some rain in there. It's just going to be one of those days that everybody's dragging, right? Then we hit next week. I want to show you this late in the forecast. 44 next Thursday. We're getting away from the 60s and 70s just for the moment.
Yeah.
It's not a huge shot, but it is a shot of cold air.
Get that calendar and weather together, right?
That's right. We're trying to do that.
Thank you, Mike. Well, the SEC tournament continues today in Nashville with the Wildcats taking the court for the first time, and Dave Baker's live in the Music City.
Hey, here's a big shock. Neither rain nor snow nor cost of tickets will keep Wildcat fans away. We'll preview tonight's matchup against Alabama coming up in a bit.
These profilers go inside the criminal mind.
Everything gives us a clue to what makes him tick.
Outside our borders.
It's not their job to worry about missing Americans. It's ours.
It's not just new crimes. It's a whole new crime zone. Criminal Minds Beyond Borders premieres CBS Wednesday, or stream it live or on demand.
Recent tobacco research proves a residue extremely hazardous to young children clings to surfaces long after the cigarette is out. The toxin particulates and gases are called third-hand smoke, and they contain chemicals like arsenic, cyanide, and lead. It's linked to chronic ear infections, asthma, even brain damage in children. Contact the Lexington Health Department to find smoke-free child care centers.
Every morning, millions of Americans start their commute in their cars. Knowing AAA auto insurance is there, should anything not go as planned. And every morning, those same people also leave behind their homes. Knowing AAA home insurance is there, should anything not go as planned. Insurance that's not just insurance.
Folks have been taking the short drive to satisfaction for over 20 years. Not only Winchester folks, but folks all across the state and even across the country. And who wouldn't come here? With over 2,500 vehicles to choose from here in Winchester, Kentucky. No matter if it's 100 miles or the short drive from Lexington, our staff will help you start your journey. Tim Short Chevrolet.
Meet Madison Brennick, legend of energy efficiency. She's the climate controller, the light switch flipper, the air filter freshener. Madison knows the more energy efficient we all are today, the less energy we may need tomorrow. She also knows KU has multiple programs that can help reduce home energy use, making her home more comfortable and efficient. And thanks to Madison, her parents know it too. Become a legend of energy efficiency.
Now at Haverty's Furniture, it's our spring home event where you can create the perfect home. From now until March 21st, you'll find huge savings on stylish pieces. Plus, you'll save an extra $100 on every $1,000 you spend. And we're offering 24-month no-interest financing. Come in today for store-wide savings. With Haverty's, your home can be perfect, even when life isn't. The spring home event. From classic to contemporary. Haverty's.
Have something that needs investigating? Email us or call the WKYT Investigates tip line.
Oh, gosh, for fans waiting for basketball, it seems like it has been a long time since the Cats took the court. But guess what? The wait is over tonight. Kentucky plays the third of 4 quarterfinal games here today in Nashville at the Bridgestone Arena. They'll take on Alabama tonight at 7 o'clock. The Cats worked out at Belmont yesterday here in Nashville, and then they took both of their allotted shoot-around times here at the Bridgestone Arena, including just about an hour ago. In the past, John Calipari hasn't been the biggest fan of postseason tournaments like this. And while this is a year that anything can happen, the Kentucky coach isn't worried.
Well, nothing keeps me up at night. I'm feeling comfortable about my team. I like that they're being empowered. My message will be real simple for them. The message being, one, be the best version of you. Just know what that looks like. We know it. We've defined it. We've helped you. And then the second thing is be about your team. Now is the time to totally lose yourself, because being your best version should come easily now. It should be habit.
As for the opponent tonight, it's the third time around for the Cats and the Crimson Tide, and Kentucky won both contests by a combined total of 41 points, the most recent a 25-point win in Rupp Arena. But Avery Johnson believes his team has learned from the experience.
We know what we're dealing with. We feel we're a little bit different team now. At least we played in a situation where they had, you know, a pretty large home crowd. They have the same thing from what I understand.
So it's the Cats and the Crimson Tide tonight at 7 here at the Bridgestone Arena. Of course, the game can be seen on the SEC Network. And Avery Johnson talking about his team being used to these big crowds. I don't know if you can see it, but the fanfares behind us. We have got Kentucky fans up there in the balconies. They are across the street on the roof taking pictures. They are rolling in here to the Bridgestone Arena. First game, Texas A&M and Florida comes your way at the top of the hour. When we come back in a bit at the bottom of the hour, guys, Jennifer takes us behind the scenes with the fans. And for now, though, that's a look at what we hope is a long weekend here in Nashville. Back to you.
All right, looking forward to that, and we'll see you in just a little bit. Thank you, Dave.
And as he said, lots of Kentucky blue behind him.
He may be the best dressed down there today, though. I don't know.
There he is.
Yeah.
Well, there's more to come in our next half hour of WKYT News at noon.
A special dog in eastern Kentucky getting some community support to help walk again.
Coming up at 12:30, we'll take you to Winchester, where fire investigators are trying to figure out what sparked the flames that killed 3 people.
Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is $15 million, and tomorrow night's Powerball jackpot is $60 million.